Okay, I'm going to call the monthly meeting of the Town Council for Westville to order. Going to begin by acknowledging that we are meeting in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people, and that we are all treaty people as we work towards reconciliation. Also want to acknowledge the histories, contributions, and legacies of the African Nova Scotia people who've been here for over 400 years. Roll call, Councillor Dunn, Councillor McGregor, CAO Weirs, down to my left, Recording Secretary Reid, Councillor Fraser, and Deputy Mayor McKinnon, and Mayor White. All here and accounted for. Declaration of Conflict of Interest. Hearing and seeing none, move on to the addition, deletions, and approval of the tentative agenda that was circulated.
I'll move to approve the agenda circulated.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Questions called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Minutes of the last regular council meeting, which was on July 21st, 2025.
I'll move to approve the minutes as circulated for July 21st, 2025.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Question. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Moving on then to committee reports. The first one being my mayor's report for the month, which was circulated with the agenda, I believe. The only thing that I realized after the fact that I forgot to mention, kind of importance, a significant thing going on in our town, and that's the production of the movie, Fallen Angel. I know it's in CAO Ware's report, so it will be documented, but certainly some excitement around town, I think, safe to say, and some of the scenes being shot outside of the arena that's being used for the interior shots of the sets that they've designed there. And interestingly enough, had the opportunity to observe some of the production last Thursday because they were shooting here at our library. So you know, we always say there's so many things available at the library that people would not think about, and so now we can add producing movies as well. So there was a scene shot at the movie as well as outside our building here, and very interesting to see. And so they're scheduled to wrap up their production the first week in September, and hopefully I'll say it anyway because I think there's some reliable information on this, that there probably will be a screening at some point in town here when the movie is finally edited and ready to be shown. I believe that there's looking at doing a screening because Westville is going to be represented somewhat prominently in this movie, and so we're excited about it. And the good thing is that it looks like it's something that may be an ongoing thing in the years to come. There may be more productions coming to our town, so we are looking forward to that. And the economic value of something of this nature, you know, maybe we don't see it totally in Westville. I'm certain some of our restaurants certainly have seen an uptake from the movie. People, there's a cast and crew here in town, staying at local hotels, eating in the local restaurants. The main catering is done by a Westville firm, catering firm. So we're excited about that. And so more to come, hopefully in years to come with us. So with that, I'll let the rest of my report stand for itself. Call on Deputy Mayor McKinnon.
All right, thank you, Your Worship. My monthly report, I was pleased to represent the town of Westville at New Glasgow's Black Homecoming event held at New Glasgow Square. It was an amazing, amazing night that they did a beautiful job. I'm also pleased to see that the amphitheater is finished with the fire department, and their meeting will be this week on Wednesday. I attended a police meeting with Minister Drouin in Halifax as the chair of the police committee currently. Also very pleased with School Plus and all of the clothing that they raised. And it really showed a need in our community as how quickly those back to school clothes were gone. And again, the movie's fantastic, and it's been a good month, and there's a lot of wonderful things happening. So that's my monthly report.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Thank you for attending the Black Gala event as well, on behalf of the town. Councillor Dunn.
Thank you. It was a very slow month for meetings this month. We had a police, I have also attended the same meeting in Halifax on the police concerns, planning commission meeting, tonight's meeting. I would like to say kudos to the social committee because I've heard nothing but good things about all the entertainment that they had this summer and continue to have. I've gotten emails about it actually, so yeah, so kudos. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Councillor Fraser.
Oh, me. Good evening, everybody. I also attended, well, there wasn't very many committee meetings, so I attended what I was supposed to. And I just wanted to say what a great turnout for Megan's Place. That was something that we all attended recently, and just thrilled with the success of that. And that's it for this month.
Thank you. Councillor McGregor.
Thank you, Your Worship. I too attended all the meetings that were required this month. Like the other folks said, there was a bit of a quiet month with some of the committees are on hiatus. Police Commission in particular didn't meet this month. We haven't had a committee of the whole this month. We did have Planning Commission, obviously, and this meeting as well. I just want to highlight a couple things. There's been some general themes and of comments over the last month from folks, and they aligned with what folks already talked about with the movie in town, what's going on with that, questions every day, the request for proposal for the long-term care facility being released, as well as some just general comments about the deer population in town, which is an ever ongoing battle and discussion that we have here as well. Just one thing on that, you struck me when you mentioned about the local businesses, and I do want to do a shout out to Jason Conway and his catering outfit, because they've been supplying 3+ meals a day, every day during the filming of this, and also catered a wedding that I attended on the weekend out of town there, so they were doing double duty, so kudos to Jason and his crew, which is a great local business. Not that there aren't other local caterers in town, just that one seems to be the one that's working hard this last couple of weeks. So that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. I can comment as well that there was a comment made while I was attending the production on Thursday about the catering, that they're more than happy with the food that they're all receiving. And they said it's one of the perks of being in the business, that you get 3 good meals a day regularly, and plus they get snacks during the day as well. So they get more than just the 3 meals, by the way.
Well, I guess there's nighttime work going on too. So
Exactly.
There's
They're working around the
evening
clock.
They are
evening snacks.
definitely
Yeah.
there at night,
Yeah.
Six-
And then I think they're sharing the food that's not eaten
with the pantry.
Right,
Yeah.
excellent,
Yeah.
excellent,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're working 16-hour days apparently.
Oh, yeah.
So, time is money apparently in that business, like other things. CIO Wares.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't think I have much, very much in addition to what's in the report. The thing that I did want to remind council and I guess residents about is, the whole, it's been mentioned a couple times already, the policing issue that has bubbled up as a direct result of decisions that are being made by the province and direction along that way. In support of making sure that council and residents have access to all the information about that, we are at the next Committee of the Whole meeting going to receive a presentation from the Department of Justice on the current funding models for those municipalities who already have
Police.
RCMP.
Oh,
which is
RCMP.
just so that you have, a full context and you can compare apples and oranges or whatever, however you want to describe it. And I just want, residents to understand that this is just part of the town's due diligence around wherever we need to go on the policing issue. So no decisions, it's just data gathering really, and understanding what the current situation is. That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to comment again quickly. I know it's in your report, but and I meant to mention this in the beginning. The request that we put out, the voluntary request for water conservation in town, that people be conscious of the use of the water. at this particular time. And I think, I'm sure you all have seen it as well. My observation is that people have taken that seriously, and I don't see people out
Watering their
using,
lawns.
watering their lawns,
No.
washing cars, or anything of that nature. I don't see any water being unnecessarily used in town, which is kudos to our residents, for basically just picking that up and going with it without any objection, really, that I can think of. Scott,
I think
you'd
it's
know
the-
it more than I,
it's-
but, and Christian.
It's the counter,
Yeah.
where people are saying, oh, well, should that be
Right.
So they're actually
No.
self-policing.
And even with the splash pad, we reduced the hours of the splash pad, as you all know. And, someone, that was one question about that, and my answer was simply, if we're asking people to do this, then we need to be the leader in this and take action as proactively as we can, and that's why we did that, to conserve water. Having said that, I just want to remind residents that we purchase our water from New Glasgow, so we're not necessarily looking at conserving our water supply, but their water supply. And we think it's the right thing to do. And we were not asked by New Glasgow to do that. They never made a request of us to do this. We did it on our own, proactively. And I just want to point that out, that, being good neighbors, we want to make sure that that water supply is protected as much as we can do. And the other thing that I want to say on that very quickly was the fact that the county, thank you very much to the municipality of Pictou County for picking up our suggestion on the request for voluntary restraint in the areas that we serve. So just further information that we do sell a portion of our water to the county out in the Elma, Green Hill area, Salem, and so they immediately, when they saw that what we were doing, put the same sort of request out to their citizens. So thank you very much to the county for doing that. We appreciate it.
Your worship, just on that, since it wasn't on the agenda to be discussed tonight, but since you raised it, I think it might be appropriate to at least re-engage with New Glasgow on the discussions on this, because we were led to believe at the time the decision was made that imminent restrictions were coming to the town of New Glasgow, which have never come forward. So it may be prudent to have further discussions with New Glasgow on the appropriateness of whether we need to even bother continuing to do this in good faith, if it's actually
If they're
made a
not.
difference to them, or if we're just
Yeah.
doing this, arbitrarily. I wouldn't say arbitrarily, obviously, we've got drought conditions, but to what level? And I know we all kind of generally agreed, because it appeared restrictions were coming imminently from New Glasgow that have never come to fruition, so.
They did in Trenton as well, Pictou, every other, Stellarton. Yeah, every other community, regardless of their water source, did do the same thing because of the severe drought and the wildfires in our province.
Point well taken. New Glasgow's not issued any restrictions on the use for their residents, obviously. The other thing on the water, CO Weirs, I know it's in your report, but just maybe for residents who don't always look at our reports, the search for water, on a proactive matter as well is continuing. Just a quick update maybe, if you can, for that.
Yeah. So 3 wells have been drilled. One was ruled as a failure right from the start. The other 2 both hit water. I'm awaiting the lab results and the core drilling samples. So unable to really, determine whether the water is of good enough quality to be potable or not. The issue would be, is there mineralization? And in this area, those who have drilled wells and hit salt water know that that's a reasonable possibility in this area. And so I'm just waiting for the lab results, and they're taking a little longer than I had anticipated.
Very good. Thank you very much. And once again, I just want to emphasize that currently we do not have a water shortage. We have enough water to supply our needs currently from that we purchased from New Glasgow, but we're just, we're being proactive to realize that down the road with further development that's coming at us at a pace that we are happy to see, that we expect that we will need a larger quantity of water, which we have been basically advised that we would not be able to get from New Glasgow, so we need to find our own sources, and that's why we're undertaking this, not because we lack water right now. Okay, so let's move on to, unless anyone else has anything from that report. Okay, let's move on to protective services, fire and dog control, fire department and dog control.
Your worship, I'd move to approve the protective service, protective services report, specifically the fire department and dog control report.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Questions called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Recreation, culture, and leisure services.
I'll move to approve the Recreation, Culture, and Leisure Services report attached as the RCLS Coordinator report.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Questions called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. Just a quick comment there in the report. Melanie mentions the summer camp, which was another successful camp, I know, and wound up last Friday, last week. So congratulations to the department on that. And the other thing that was mentioned in the report that maybe people aren't aware of is the fact that, you know, there's a lot of equipment that's available for rental from the department. Pardon?
For the loan.
Loan, I should say, yeah, I
Yeah.
used the wrong word.
Yep.
Not rental, there's no cost. There's no cost to it. A rental with no cost. You know, and it's growing. Every time I walk through Melanie's office, I see more and more equipment of various types there. So if you're thinking about something recreation-oriented that you may need a piece of equipment, check with Melanie because you may be able to have it available to you on loan.
Where does she store all of that for community members?
There's a container outside that we acquired for that purpose, when it's not in her office. Right? So, yeah,
Nice.
it's available. Okay, so moving on to Transportation, Environmental Health Services, the Water Report, Public Works Report, Solid Waste Report, and Westville Transit Riders Report, all included.
I will move to accept the Transportation and Environmental Health Services reports, including water, public works, solid waste, and Westville Transit Riders as attached.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Questions called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carried. And I'm thankful this week it was on one page. It didn't carry
didn't
over the
go
second.
over.
So I didn't miss part of it.
I didn't either.
Yeah. All right, then moving on to correspondence. We have a few things to deal with under correspondence this month. First of all, the Hike for Hope. So I think you all saw the letter that came in recognition of World Homeless Day on October the 5th. Viola's Place is hosting a Hike for Hope. All funds raised will be used to provide basic necessities of food, shelter, and shelter for unhoused, and seeking sponsorship support from the town. What are your wishes with regard to that? And I know these are outside of our, you know, we normally have our allocations that come in for grants and so on. This is, and these are things that pop up, as we all know, from time to time, that aren't included in that.
Looking at all three that are listed for the Hike for Hope, the Pictou County Prostate Cancer Support Association, and the Women Alike Society, I think they're all excellent, and I would be comfortable with us giving $100 to each of these requests, as they're not in our regular budget.
Anyone else?
I would second
I
that.
don't believe the Prostate Society was looking for a donation.
No.
It was just to light a building up.
That's right.
Right.
blue,
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's only the
Yes.
two that are
It's
actually
only
looking
the
for
two. Only
the
financial
two.
contribution.
Yeah.
And I think we've done that before, if I'm not mistaken, with the Prostate
Yeah.
Yeah.
Association,
Yeah.
Purple Lights. I think we have them in the post office generally. We light the post office up, and I see no reason why we can't do that again
Yeah.
in September, if council agrees.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
So on the
I
other
agree
two,
with the
then,
100.
Deputy Mayor is suggesting that we give Hike for Hope and the Women Alike Society a donation of 100.
I second that. I think it's a good
Yeah, I
idea.
think
Moved and
it's
seconded,
Yeah.
then, are you ready for the question?
question.
Questions called, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Excellent. Moving on then to new and unfinished business. Development agreement at Union Street. Exciting stuff. Mr. Weirs.
Yeah, so just as context, 16-unit housing development proposed for Union Street. And a draft development agreement was brought forward to Planning Advisory Committee last week. And was discussed at Planning Advisory Committee and recommended that it be brought forward to full council for approval and for scheduling of the public hearing that's mandatory during a development agreement process.
Yeah.
If council wishes, I can propose a resolution for you.
Please.
So whereas Twin Rivers Parks Limited has applied for a development agreement to allow it to create 16 townhouse units on Union Street in Westville, and whereas town staff have worked with the proponent in question to negotiate a development agreement appropriate to both the site and the zoning of the site, and whereas Planning Commission reviewed and proposed the proposed development agreement in detail at its August 20, 2025 meeting, and has recommended to council that the development agreement be approved to go forward to public hearing before proceeding to council for final consideration. Therefore, be it resolved that Westville Town Council endorses the proposed development agreement for the Union Street townhouse units being brought forward for consideration at a public hearing on September 22nd, 2025. So that date, ladies and gentlemen, is your committee of the whole meeting.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
trying to line that up so that you're all in one place at one time and kind of do a couple of
Perfect.
things.
Perfect.
I would move that motion.
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. Are you ready for the question?
Question.
Question is being called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. Yeah, this is a new type of development for town because I don't think, that, to my recollection, the townhouse style development we haven't seen to this point in time. So this is,
Two-story townhouse.
yeah.
Two-story, modular construction, stacked, rent for rent.
Right.
So, yeah,
So we're-
nice.
So, yeah, and if anyone wants the detail on what those look like and what the proposal is prior to that meeting, if you go on YouTube and look at the Planning Advisory Committee meeting of last week, the detail will all be on that particular
I think people will
YouTube
like them. They look sharp.
from Planning Advisory. And I'm sure if someone really wanted the information, they can pick it up at the office as well, prior to the public meeting on the 22nd of September next month. All right. Next, then, is the video surveillance policy.
Yeah, so all of you would have received a document outlining the proposal for video surveillance and image retrieval policy, brought about in large part by the fact that we have put security cameras at Megan's Place and at the pop-up market on Main Street. Haven't had anybody say they hated it or no suggestions for amendment or whatever. So I'm assuming you're all okay with it, and I do have a draft of a resolution if you'd like me to proceed.
Yes, please.
Okay, so regarding a video surveillance and image retrieval policy for Westville, Town of Westville has installed security cameras in a number of locations in town, including Megan's Place in Acadia Park and the Westville Pop-Up Market. And whereas the town wants to ensure that any future requests to view security camera images are dealt with in an appropriate and repeatable manner, and whereas staff have prepared draft video surveillance and image retrieval policy, whereas town council has reviewed and discussed that draft surveillance and image retrieval policy, therefore be it resolved that Westville Town Council approve the proposed surveillance and image retrieval policy.
It's a mouthful.
It is.
Just a question on that, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are going to be putting signage up as well?
Already is up.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's in the policy to say that signage will be
Correct,
displayed as
yeah,
well.
and it's
Yeah.
just a requirement,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's just a, a public privacy or a informed privacy situation, right?
Okay.
So that
Signage is, okay.
there's signage at both of those places.
The only other question, legal, had a chance to, have we
We
saw a
haven't-
need, or?
Yeah, I didn't see a need to.
Yeah. So it's a pretty standard policy that exists
Correct.
with other places that have video surveillance, I'm guessing?
Yep.
So we can
Yeah.
cut and paste a lot of it, say where's, not to take away the hard work that you did to draft it, but I'm assuming?
There was some borrowing.
Okay, thank you very much, that's what I was going to, right? All right.
Loans,
Is
not
this-
rentals.
No, loan.
Just a quick question, is this
It's a loan.
inclusive, like, it specifically mentions the park and, the pop-up businesses?
Right.
Is that inclusive of, like, we have a security camera downstairs, I don't know what we have at the police, so it's
would
it's
be
meant to be
inclusive of all of them.
all of our,
That's right.
perfect, yeah.
Yeah, because we
Yeah.
have them in this building,
Yeah.
as you're all aware. and
Yes.
So, and next door at the police and so on. So
Yeah.
it includes all,
Yep.
any place that we have video surveillance.
The fundamental difference is that those are much more public
Right.
places
Right.
than, you know, well, not that they aren't, the building isn't public, but it's just, they're visited way more
Yeah.
than the building.
And by people who might not know that the cameras are there, yeah.
Yeah, you know, you're generally expecting there to be a camera at a town hall or a
Police station.
police
Public
department or
building.
something of that effect, you know.
Well, they actually advertise that you can do drop-off
Yeah.
for children
Right.
swapping and stuff
That's
for
right.
parents and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
it's-
So-
Yeah.
And
I
I,
mean,
you
sure
know,
it's-
that's something
yeah.
that we need to
Right.
remind people too, that there is a place there that's under video surveillance
And
that's
they say-
recommended
yeah.
for
That you can do.
for
And they suggest
custody,
if you're buying
Even
stuff online and
marketplace
stuff from
stuff, yeah.
Marketplace, that
selling
you do
things
your
on the
Meet there.
marketplace.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely, it's good, that's a very
So
good
that
point.
has been advertised.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's good to
And I-
remind
And
people.
I assume that the Premier's constituency office is excluded from this policy
Correct.
because
They have their
it's
own-
their
All
own-
third parties
Right.
would be.
They-
So, you
third
know,
party, yeah.
should the library, for example, choose to put in cameras, then
Right.
that would be excluded, because they aren't ours.
They're not ours.
Right.
So they'd have their own policy.
Like needs.
So would the fire department fall in under
Yeah.
ours?
Fire department would,
Because they
Yes.
have their own, they have their own cameras in there.
yeah.
Okay,
That
Oh,
perhaps needs
move to
further.
accept the resolution?
And
Is
I'll
that what we're
second
doing?
that.
Okay.
so it has been moved and seconded, ready for the question?
Question.
Question.
Questions called, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion's carried. Well, Westville Community, Westville Community Gymnasium upgrades, another exciting
Very
little
exciting.
note to deal with.
Yeah, if you'll allow me, Your Honor, so, council will remember that Westville was fortunate enough to receive a grant to undertake some changes, some badly needed improvements to the gymnasium downstairs, which includes, and so there's quite a number of changes that we're hoping to be able to do. That facility gets a significant amount of public use. And scheduling time when the renovations can be done without fundamentally disrupting
A bunch
a
of,
bunch of our regular clients has been a bit of a challenge, but I think Melanie Dash has done a fabulous job of walking a fine line and threading the needle. So renovations on phase one, so we've broken it up into a couple of phases, and we're gonna do phase one in early September, followed by phase two during the Christmas, New Year's period, so that as few people, few groups as possible are negatively impacted. And so phase one, we went out to RFP, got quite a number, 4 or 5 bids, and I think we've got some, great people, great organizations stepped forward to try and help us out, and we've picked the, high-quality, experienced contractors and a low bid, so I'm very happy about where we are. The resolution around this really is with regard to council authorizing the capital expenditure. So Whereas the town of Westville has been awarded a grant to assist in renovating the Westville Community Gymnasium, and whereas town of Westville requires the services of a contractor to undertake the renovations of the gymnasium, and whereas town of Westville released a request for proposals for phase 1 of the required work on July 15th, 2025, and whereas Westville staff have received and reviewed all submitted tenders and has determined that the firm CSS Canada provides appropriate expertise and the lowest price at $82,080. Therefore, be it resolved that the town council awards the contract for phase 1 to the Westville, phase 1 of the Westville Community Gymnasium renovation to CSS Canada.
I'll move.
Moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. So just to be clear, the phase 1 includes what items?
Yeah,
Sanders?
so I'll probably get it exactly, or generally right, but maybe precisely wrong. Painting, acoustic tiles, so that's the full walls, ceiling, changing of the acoustic tiles, resurfacing the stage, and I think that's it. And then phase 2 will be the floor and some work in the washrooms. Are the two
Accessible
big
wash-
things.
yeah.
Well, and they won't be accessible.
No.
They are too small to be made accessible, but they still need
Upgrades.
Work.
freshening up. And so we'll do that. The accessible washrooms, we're gonna have to rejig the main floor to provide access to, and I'm seeking quotes for that work as well, so that we'll have to, kind of probably move some doorways to allow, make the washrooms accessible, and then move some
We're doing it at the
fire doors to allow people who are using the gym to actually access the accessible washrooms once we have them. So we've got a few more years, not many. The clock is ticking, right? We're all racing to a 2030 deadline. And, I feel relatively calm about the fact that we'll get there. But this particular renovation won't be assisting us in our
No.
accessible drive.
So it's going to make a tremendous improvement on the current gymnasium that we have.
We're gonna leave that Vipers logo for Lenny,
Absolutely.
for the mayor,
Stay.
let him
Yeah.
stay in. We're
And
gonna
I-
maybe put a
you know,
frame
I thought they'd
around it.
highlight it, like put the
Flashing
little
lights.
lights.
Yeah.
We're going to take a picture of
Thank you for
Mitchell
picking
with
up one of my
it.
pet peeves.
I wasn't letting you get to it first.
I know, I've said it so many times, the Vipers, yeah, every picture
We'll get a picture of
every
you
event that
first,
happens
Mitchell,
there, and
before
there's
we
so
paint
many,
it.
the most prominent thing you see is home of the Vipers, and
That's right.
I-
And it drives you nuts.
with all due respect to the Vipers, I'm sure there's some alumni around. still,
Mitchell.
right?
Mitchell.
Mitchell, were
Mitchell
you a
Mitchell was
Viper, Mitchell?
alumni, he's a
I
Viper.
was,
Yeah, he was a
I
Viper.
came here the first year it was open for grades 6 and 7 at the middle school. It was an elementary school,
See?
and then they moved everybody to Walter Duggan, and then 6 and 7 were the middle school here
Yeah.
before they moved it up to the old high school.
Yeah.
That's why everybody says the old high school, they refer to it as the middle school. I don't think there's anybody
Right.
in Westville refers to that building
No.
as the former middle school.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right.
So with all due respect to the Vipers, I mean no slur to the legacy of the Vipers, but that always was something that just stood out at me when I went in that gymnasium.
It was even more weird when it was a liquor store and you were looking
Right.
That is true.
So anyway, we can expect to see a much well renovated and updated gymnasium in the future, which is fantastic news, really. And
Yeah.
thank you, kudos to our staff for acquiring those funds to get this work done, because, we all know that it's been needed for a long time, and so this is great news for the town, I believe. Well-used space by many in the surrounding area, not just the town of Westville, for sure. It's a great asset that we have in this town, to have that gymnasium.
On that, when we just,
We better have a vote on it if we're ready.
Oh, did
Are
we
we
already
ready?
do
Or
that?
we
I
have
think
more
we did.
questions? or-
I thought we
Sorry.
did that.
Didn't we?
I
don't
moved
think-
it,
I think
seconded it.
I think I
So
interrupted.
Oh, no, question.
I think
We're
I
on
interrupted
question.
before I called for the vote. Am I
It's
not
okay.
right? Yeah, see? It was actually Councilor McGregor that brought up the Vipers thing that interrupted the vote, I think.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
Anyway,
That's
ready for the question?
Question.
Questions called. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion's carried.
Okay, back on
There's
track.
the CAO giving the update on what the project scope was.
That's what it was.
Yes.
I asked.
I'm just teasing.
That's what it was, yeah. Yeah.
This is a good.
It's all exciting. Okay, so moving on to 9D, the big chair proposal. This sounds like something out of Trump's playbook. I don't know, we call it the big beautiful chair proposal, I guess, I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, CAO Weirs again.
Yeah, so, Your Honor, thank you. So the town received, and all of council has seen the proposal. It's a wonderful proposal, a great idea. I think you've seen my report. While I love the idea, it doesn't really fit the town. And so I do have a resolution here with regard to it, which really encourages the proponent, Mr. Turner, to work with the town and the local or the regional tourism organization to turn his proposal into something that's bigger than just Westville. Part of the challenge, I think, is that if Westville had a more developed tourism sector, if that's the right way to say it, I think it would make more sense. We don't have roofed accommodation in town. We don't even have Airbnbs in town. We don't really have, with the wonderful exception of Acropole, we don't have sit-down meal service in town. And so the opportunity to derive benefit from tourists milling about the town is kind of low. I think it has huge potential as a regional tourism draw. And I've been in conversations with deans, and they are very interested in this at a regional level as well. So, with your forbearance, I'll read the draft resolution.
Yes, please.
Whereas the town of Westville has received a proposal requesting the town to invest in keeping a number of, quote, big chairs located in various locations in Westville, and whereas town staff have reviewed the proposal and determined that the proposal is currently structured holds limited ability to generate visitor-related revenue for Westville businesses, and whereas town staff and regional tourism staff believe that the proposal could, if appropriately restructured, be a regional tourism attractor, therefore be it resolved that Westville Council encourages the Chairwalk proponent to work closely with the town and the regional tourism staff to restructure the proposal such that it drives regional tourism and could be supported by Westville and other Pictou County municipalities as a regional tourism attraction, activity, or event.
Can I say something on that, Your Worship?
Let's have a motion if we can,
To
if
second or
if
to
that's
approve it?
acceptable, and then we can have a discussion on the
Yep.
motion.
I
Absolutely.
can move to
Move.
accept it, yep.
Have a seconder?
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded, so we are open to discussion now, Councilor Fraser.
Okay, and I just wanted to make a comment when we were exchanging emails. I've seen the benefit of the chairs myself. I actually helped a few families this summer who were on a picture-taking tour and wanted to get their picture on all 7, so there is benefit to them, and I think people are definitely interested in the chairs. And I would be happy to be involved in something that made an event or you know, like I'd be happy to be involved. I think it's a great idea. Just needs a little tweaking from what we got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope we can figure something out.
Anything else anyone has?
No, I think I agree with what they say. It's really, I don't see this as a no. I think it's we want it to be bigger than kind of what's proposed in front of us, actually. I think it's more aligning with doing something bigger, broader than just kind of the narrow scope of just the town of Westville.
Yeah.
So I think, I think that's the appropriate kind of direction to go with this particular one right now.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of regional, anything that we can do on a regional basis. I think we all are on this council. And for a long time, I said, we need to determine what our regional assets are so that we know when requests come that we, it's something we can support if it's in another town. This is not dissimilar to that. It can be, I think, by the suggestion from staff through to Mr. Turner, hopefully, that this can be bigger than even what was envisioned. And it's bigger than the town of Westville on an appeal basis to bring people forward. And it's a concept that I don't think any other area of the province has, so, let's build on it. And I think we all want to, before we have the vote, to say to Mr. Turner, who's here with us this evening, kudos to coming up with this idea and all the work that you've done in the last number of years to produce those chairs and move them about town, and move them around. And I know they're beyond Westville as well. I know they've been in other parts of the county as well, other towns and areas as well. And well received and so as the resolution indicates and has been said by others, our hope is that we can help as a town to increase the appeal and draw that these chairs can have on a county basis, but we'll still claim fame to the fact that the chairs originated in Westville by a Westville resident. We'll still say made in Westville. That's right. Even although they may be in other parts of the county. We'll take that claim.
Maybe a competition between towns somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, if anything else anyone has, all clear on the resolution? Ready for the question? Question's called. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. Motion is carried. And once again, thank you, Mr. Turner. A great idea. A very innovative idea, and we hope that we can work with you and our staff and other people in the county to get them on board to increase the appeal and the notification and information on it. Which we have now. We're down into public engagement. Look at this. Wow. Anything that anyone has to present to council or ask questions of council? So, you can't do this when you're watching on YouTube, by the way, so, you physically have to come to our meeting if you wish to do that, and we welcome you at any time, right? So, hearing none, do we have need of an in-camera?
I don't believe so.
I don't believe that we have anything pending, pressing. So with that, I'm just going to mention that we have some, we'll be getting back into the swing of things with August waning and September coming. So the Police Advisory Committee, better known as the Police Commission, I believe, still, will be meeting on September the 16th here in Chambers. That's an open meeting, public meeting as well. The Planning Advisory Committee meeting, once again, an open public meeting, September the 17th. And as I've said before, if you want to know what's going on development-wise, activity-wise in town, that's a meeting you must attend, because that's where most of that information comes. And then it comes to council, as you can see tonight, with a rather abbreviated sort of version of what was discussed at planning. Accessibility Committee on September the 18th, and I know both on, I just want to mention again, on Planning Advisory and Accessibility Committee, Accessibility Committee meets on the 18th. So the 16th, 17th, 18th, you can see how busy things are. But both of those committees are looking for a new member. And I think the notice went out today on social media. So if you're interested in serving on either Planning Advisory or Accessibility Committee, just contact the town. Have a look at the town Facebook site, for one. It's on there. It'll tell you the criteria that we're looking for. Committee of the Whole, as we discussed a moment ago, will be on September the 22nd, and we're going to have that public hearing on the development on Union Street, the townhouse development, will be on the 22nd.
The RCMP funding model.
And the funding model based on the RCMP, which Mr. Weir's already alluded to and mentioned. Don't read into that anything other than what it is. That we're just looking for all the information that we can get to have everything on our that was available information-wise. If we get to that point through this police review that we're all sort of looking at and talking about. And then our regular council meeting for September will be on the 29th. And that's going to be a busy month coming up. And with that, then, without anything further, declare the meeting adjourned.